People often say that starting your day with a glass of water is one of the healthiest habits you can adopt. And while there's truth to that, there's a side of the story that doesn't get as much attention. Morning hydration can actually cause problems if it's not done correctly. Sounds odd, right? After all, it's just water. But as we grow older, our bodies respond differently than they used to. What might have felt great in your 30s or 40s might not sit as well in your 60s or 70s. This isn't because you're doing anything wrong. It's simply that your body needs more care and mindfulness. After all, it's been through a lot. Your organs, your heart, kidneys, and digestive system have decades of use behind them. When you wake up, your body is in a fragile transition. Hormonal activity is shifting, and your blood pressure is finding its balance again. Your stomach and muscles are still in the process of reactivating, so if you're not gentle with your routine, even drinking water can backfire. In this video, we'll highlight 5 frequent errors people make when drinking water right after waking up. Most people don't even notice these slip-ups, but by the end, you'll know exactly what to steer clear of and feel more confident about caring for your body during those important first minutes of the day. Before we get into it, I'd love to know, where are you watching from? Drop your city in the comments below. I always enjoy seeing where you're all tuning in from. And if you find this helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. We've got more useful tips coming your way soon. Mistake number 1. Drinking ice-cold water on an empty stomach. Let me ask, have you ever taken a big swig of cold water in the morning and felt your stomach tighten up unexpectedly? Or maybe you felt a chill run down your chest. Some people even get a bit dizzy or develop a sudden headache after. Usually these symptoms get brushed off or blamed on something else. But the reality is, ice-cold water first thing in the morning, especially before you've eaten anything, can jolt your body in a way it's not ready for. When you're asleep, your body enters a restorative mode. Your organs slow down, digestion pauses, and blood vessels gently constrict. Then, without giving the body time to ease into the day, we slam it with a cold shock. Imagine trying to speed off while your engine is still cold. It just doesn't work smoothly. Cold water tightens stomach muscles, narrows blood vessels further, and sends your system into alert mode. And the older we get, the harder it becomes for our bodies to rebound from that kind of stress. What once felt invigorating in our younger years can turn into a discomforting experience later on. As we age, things change. Our metabolism slows, circulation becomes more fragile, and we become more sensitive to temperature extremes. So instead of feeling refreshed, cold water might actually leave you feeling worse. Not because the water itself is harmful, but because its temperature is simply too intense for your system at that moment. Take Barbara, for example. She's 76, mentally sharp and full of life. She always swore by her morning routine of a cold glass of water straight from the fridge. She said it helped clear her throat and shake off the sleepiness. But gradually, she noticed her hands stayed cold, her stomach cramped slightly, and her digestion felt sluggish for hours. It wasn't until her doctor advised her to switch to room temperature water that things turned around. Just 1 week into the change, she started feeling more settled in the mornings. No more stomach knots, and her digestion improved. That small tweak, letting water sit out for a bit, or using lukewarm water, had a big effect. It's a gentle reminder that what worked in the past might need adjusting now. Our bodies have supported us for many decades. They've earned a little tenderness. At the very least, we can give them water that doesn't feel like a slap in the face when we first wake up. So if you're used to heading straight for a cold drink in the morning, try switching it up. Test how your body feels after a few days with room temperature water. You might be surprised at how much smoother your mornings go. Mistake number 2, drinking too quickly or in large gulps. We've all been there. You wake up thirsty, reach for that glass, and down it in seconds. It feels good to just get it over with. But here's something to consider. Drinking water too fast, especially right after waking, can actually throw your system out of sync. And most people don't realize it. When we wake up, our bodies are still easing into the day. Your heart rate is slowly rising, blood pressure is stabilizing, and your stomach lining is still waking up too. Everything is gradually coming back online after hours of rest. Then suddenly, we flood it with a full glass of water all at once. That kind of sudden intake can cause your stomach to bloat quickly, or even make you feel queasy or lightheaded. Some people report feeling a strange flutter in their chest afterward, and they're often left wondering what caused it. The issue usually isn't the water itself, it's the speed at which it's consumed. When you drink too fast, your body doesn't have time to manage what's coming in. Your kidneys have to work harder to handle the sudden load, and your electrolyte levels can shift more rapidly than they should. And for older adults whose internal systems are more delicate, that sudden shift can leave you feeling off for the rest of the morning. Let me tell you a quick story. Simon, a 72-year-old former coach, once shared that he used to drink an entire bottle of water the moment he woke up, before even getting out of bed. He believed this was a sign of discipline and good health, but now and then, he'd feel unexpectedly lightheaded. It wasn't every single morning, but it happened often enough to catch his attention. When he discussed it with his doctor, they traced the issue back to the pace and quantity of water he was drinking. His body wasn't being given the chance to adjust gradually. So he made one small change. He began sipping his water slowly over the course of 15 to 20 minutes, instead of downing it all at once. No more rushing, no more chugging, and just like that, the dizziness stopped. His mornings became smoother. His energy remained more stable throughout the day. He didn't need to change medications or try some elaborate fix. He simply became more thoughtful in the way he drank his water. So here's a thought. Your body doesn't need a sudden deluge first thing in the morning. It prefers a gentle introduction. Take your time, sit upright, take a few deep breaths. Then, drink in small sips. Give your body the space to receive the hydration calmly rather than being overwhelmed. It's not about getting it over with. It's about offering yourself a moment of care. If you're in the habit of gulping down your water as soon as you wake up, try slowing things down tomorrow and notice how you feel. Sometimes it's the smallest adjustments that make the most meaningful impact. Mistake number 3, using plastic bottles left out overnight. This one might catch you off guard, especially if you're someone who keeps a water bottle on the nightstand. Many people do. It's convenient, easy to grab, and feels like a smart routine. But here's what many don't consider. When plastic bottles sit out overnight, especially in a warm room, they can start releasing chemicals into the water. It may look like harmless water, but the container could be leaking unwanted substances into it as it sits there. One of the main concerns is a chemical called BPA, which is commonly found in older or low-grade plastic bottles. And even if your bottle claims to be BPA-free, there are other plastic components that behave similarly once exposed to heat or time. These compounds are known as endocrine disruptors. They can imitate or interfere with the body's natural hormones. And let's face it, as we get older, our hormonal systems are already more sensitive. Whether you're managing thyroid issues, blood pressure, or glucose levels, introducing synthetic chemicals, even in small amounts, can create unnecessary complications. You might not feel any immediate symptoms, but over time, many people report fatigue, mood swings, bloating, or a general sense of feeling off, with no clear explanation. Let me give you an example. Paul, who's 79, had always made it a point to stay well hydrated. He'd fill a plastic bottle from the tap, place it next to his bed, and drink from it each morning. It seemed like a perfectly healthy routine. But after a few months, he started experiencing more frequent headaches, irregular digestion, and persistent fatigue, even after a full night's rest. He hadn't changed his diet. His doctor couldn't find anything obvious. Eventually, a conversation with a nutritionist helped uncover the problem: the bottle itself. He had been reusing the same plastic bottle, leaving it close to a warm lamp overnight, and drinking from it daily. Once he swapped it out for a glass bottle and started using fresh water every morning instead of reusing old bottles, things started to turn around. Within a few weeks, his headaches lessened, his energy returned, and he felt more like himself. Now, of course, no one's saying that a single sip from a plastic bottle will ruin your health. But doing it repeatedly, every day, adds up over time. Your kidneys, liver, and hormone systems all have to work extra hard to deal with these added toxins. And for older adults, that additional strain can be significant. So if you've got a plastic bottle sitting next to your bed right now, consider making a small upgrade. Switch to a glass or stainless steel container, and aim to fill it with fresh water each day. It's a simple change, but one that could offer your body a bit more protection and comfort. Mistake number 4, drinking water at the wrong time, relative to medication and meals. Let's take a closer look at your typical morning routine. You wake up, take your prescribed medication, and then drink a glass of water. That probably seems like the correct thing to do. After all, most doctors do recommend taking pills with water. But what they often don't clarify is how much water to drink, when to drink it, or whether food should be involved. That little detail can make a significant difference. For instance, quickly downing a lot of water on an empty stomach right after taking medication can lead to nausea, bloating, or even acid reflux. It can irritate your stomach lining and affect how your body absorbs the medicine. On the other hand, if you've just eaten a large breakfast and follow that with medication and a big glass of water, it could interfere with pills designed to work best on an empty stomach. Your digestive system is more delicate than most people realize, and in the early morning hours it's still finding its rhythm. Your hormones are shifting, stomach acid levels are adjusting, and suddenly flooding your system with pills and water can be a bit too much all at once. Let me introduce you to Margaret. She's 80 and has been managing her thyroid condition for years. Her morning routine was always the same: take her medication, drink a full glass of water, wait a while, and then have breakfast. Margaret suddenly began to feel nauseous in the mornings. Her medications hadn't changed. She wasn't eating anything unusual. All her medical tests came back normal, yet the queasiness persisted. Eventually, her doctor asked about her water routine. That's when the puzzle came together. She had been drinking a large amount of water too quickly, right after taking her medication. Her stomach was overwhelmed by it, so she made a small but meaningful shift. Rather than drinking a whole glass, she took just enough water to swallow her pill comfortably. Then she waited about 45 minutes before having breakfast. The nausea disappeared completely, and when she got her next blood tests, the results had actually improved. Such a minor adjustment, yet it made her medication more effective and helped her start the day on a calmer note. Here's the takeaway. Pay attention to how your body responds after you take your meds. If you've been feeling uneasy, foggy, or off in the mornings, don't jump to blame it on your age, or even the medication itself. It could be how you're combining it with water. Try sipping more slowly. Wait a bit before eating. Avoid overwhelming your stomach right away. Give your system a moment to catch up. Often it's not about changing your routine, just softening it. Mistake number 5. Replacing breakfast with only water. Let's be real. There's a lot of wellness advice floating around these days, and not all of it suits everyone. You might have heard suggestions like, just drink water in the morning, skip breakfast, let your body fast. And while that might work for younger folks or those following strict health regimens, it's a different story as we get older. Skipping breakfast and only drinking water can slowly sap your strength without you even noticing. By morning, your body's already gone 8 to 10 hours without food. Your blood sugar is low, your energy is running on fumes. Your brain needs fuel to function clearly, and your muscles rely on nutrients to stay strong. At first, just drinking water might seem fine. But as the morning goes on, many people begin to feel drained, shaky, irritable, or mentally sluggish. They chalk it up to stress or poor sleep. But more often than not, it's simply due to not eating. Yes, water rehydrates you, but it can't replace the nourishment your body is asking for. And if you top off that water with a cup of coffee and nothing else, you're actually pushing your system harder while giving it nothing to work with. That imbalance can leave you feeling worse than you need to. Let me share Alice's story. She's 68, sharp and independent, and was trying to simplify her mornings. She got into intermittent fasting and began skipping breakfast, just water until lunchtime. Initially, she dropped a few pounds and thought it was working great. But soon after, her mood started to dip. She became forgetful. She'd repeat herself without noticing. Her daughter picked up on the changes and encouraged her to see a doctor. There was no serious medical issue. Alice just wasn't giving her body enough energy in the morning. Her brain was running on empty. So she reintroduced a small breakfast, not a feast, just a boiled egg, a slice of toast, maybe some fruit. That simple shift brought her energy back. Her mood lifted. She felt like herself again. That little breakfast made a bigger difference than she expected. So here's a thought to carry with you. Don't assume that eating less is always better, especially first thing in the morning. Water is essential, yes, but real food gives you the fuel to function, a bit of protein, some fiber, something solid to support your energy and mental clarity. If you've been avoiding breakfast thinking it's doing you good, maybe try adding something small tomorrow. A few nuts, some oats, even a smoothie. It's fascinating how something as basic as water, something we've always relied on, can start to feel different as we age. Not because the water has changed, because we have. That's really what today's message is all about. It's not about being afraid. It's not about strict rules. It's about being aware, noticing the small things that quietly shape how we feel. Because when your mornings feel off, when you feel dizzy, bloated, foggy, or anxious, it doesn't always mean something's wrong with you. And if you'd like more gentle, honest conversations about health, feel free to subscribe or follow along. Because how you feel matters. See you soon.